For over 27 years here in Tuscaloosa, Catfish Heaven has been pleasing our taste buds with their delicious catfish, pan trout, hot wings, coleslaw, hush puppies, and don't forget about those made-to-order French fries. Whether it's your snack time, lunchtime, or dinner time, give the guys a call over at Catfish Heaven at 205-752-7222, or you can make your order online at catfishheaventuscaloosa.com. So head on over to Catfish Heaven at 2502 21st Street. See you there.
Hello?
Hey, Rick. I had to call you to tell you that the food that you brought to the party last night was wonderful. It made me think about my grandmother's cooking. Where did you get that food, brother?
I went down to Thomas' Rib Shack to pick up the ribs, but when I got there, I seen that they had more than just ribs. I seen baked chicken, fried chicken, corn muffins, vegetables, apple pie, peach pie, and I looked around and I seen a sign that told me that they got chitlins and oxtails on Sunday. Oh, all I can tell you, go down to 2931 15th Street or just give them a call like I did at area code 205-759-5010. Thomas Rib Shack, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the all-new Ttown 411 Report. I'm your host, Darren McKinstry. We're broadcasting live from Kinstry Banquet Hall, located at 5480 Jug Factory Road here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's a special place with special people for all special occasions. Give us a call at McKinstry Banquet Hall, 205-826-7661. That'll get you in contact with us here on the Ttown 411, as well as McKinstry Banquet Hall. Also, we're broadcasting live on Sound Booth Radio 106.1 with Mike. Mike, tell them how can they sound in on Sound Booth Radio.
Sure thing, Daryl. Sign in with us over here on Sound Booth Radio. You want to go to your iOS or your Google Play Store and then download the Live 365 app. Once you download that Live 365 app, then you type in Sound Booth Radio 106.1 on the search bar, and that'll get you on with us. Also, you can check us out on Facebook on Soundbooth TV. Also, our YouTube channel, Soundbooth TV, also on YouTube.
Well, we just want to thank everybody that chime in each and every week here on the Ttown 411 Report. Remember, we come on each and every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Hey, we want to thank DJ Marlowe for producing this program for us each and every week. Now he's teamed up with us here with Restream, along with Soundproof Radio and Ttown 411 Report, where we can give you more information, more visuals, and more entertainment. We just want to thank him for doing what he does. And tonight, we're just going to try to make it a quick show for you tonight. We're not going to stay on too long. And every time I say that, we end up staying long because things get interesting. Like last week, we started talking about the DJs. I'm not able to pull up yet to come if Veronica's came on with the COVID update. But tonight we're going to officially be talking about the COVID update along with the new Delta variant that's out, Mike. So I'm checking to see if anything came through. Hadn't seen it yet. My phone is a little slow. Hey, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Okay, she just pulled it up. Okay.
Head on down to Archibald and Woodrow, some of the best barbecue in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, y'all. Right off of 4125 Greensboro Avenue, Tuscaloosa, Alabama 35405. You can hit them up at 205-331-4858. Also, you can find them at their other location, 1211 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Northport, Alabama, 35476, 205-345-6861.
Tastes so good, make you want to slap your mama. Fly, fly, fly. Gucci, huh? I drink till I'm drunk.
Fellas, head on down to New Generation Barber Shop, right off of 2600 McFarland Boulevard East, Suite C. Go ahead and get you a fly cut from my boy Fred Brown. You can hit him up at 205-292-4995. Also Sam Brown at 205-722-8506. And how can I forget about my boy Amp the Barber? Hit him up at 205-561-7473. Check him out, y'all.
Pick, I might as well, hell, drop the top and take a selfie, my country.
You shopping at a goddamn number 2 pencil.
What up, y'all? Comedian Funny Man, and this is nice, right? This pretty nice. That's pretty nice. But you know what's even nicer? A comedy show in Tuscaloosa, July 30th at McKinstry Banquet Hall. I'm coming through with my homies, man. TK Perry, Lamar Pullum, Tony Ttown. Hey, we back outside. We back outside, coming to Tuscaloosa for a comedy show, post-pandemic comedy show. And it's going to be funny. Go ahead and get your tickets. It's going to be live. It's going to be the place to be. And why not do it in Tuscaloosa? As y'all can see, I am in Alberta City right now. I'm in Alberta City right now. So I'm going to make that short drive over to McKinstry Banquet Hall, July 30th. Get your tickets. Post-pandemic comedy show. Your boy Funny Man will be there. And it's going to be rocking. Love me some Tuscaloosa. Love Alberta. I'll see y'all there July 30th.
Okay, we're back. We're back now. Now that we have our Veronica provided us the information, as always. It was just me coming on a little late. DCH Health System in Turner County as of 3:14 p.m. today. 9 inpatients with DCH systems are positive for COVID-19. 5 or few are positive for COVID-19 being treated in ICU. 5 or few who are positive for COVID-19 on ventilators, and 5 or few who are positive for COVID-19 on BiPAP. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity. We ask that you send your healing hand down to the ones that are suffering right now with this COVID-19 or whatever sickness they're dealing with. Heavenly Father, continue to bless the doctors and all the essential workers, the nurses, the receptionists, and all. Heavenly Father, continue to look over our government, look over our police officers and our firemen. Heavenly Father, I'm asking for a special prayer for my family and all other families. In your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Mike, we're dealing with I think your phone might be a little, your volume, somebody's volume up a little bit louder than normal. I'm getting a little feedback.
You hear yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about now?
There you go. We got this new Delta variant that's out, and from my understanding, Veronica probably be our best source of resources tonight. I want to say hello to Fanny Spencer, Shauna Henn. How you doing, Shana? Veronica Taylor and Kenny Chambers, and all the rest of you that's watching. But Veronica will probably be our best resource on telling us more about this variant, this Delta variant, and why Alabama is now ranked last in this vaccination. What is it that we're afraid of? I mean, we do know COVID still kills. Is that correct?
I actually don't think that they realize that as much as they should. Daryl, to be honest with you, when we start talking about, we were talking about this prior to today, the Delta variant that was coming out, and it's hitting the areas that are the ones that are less vaccinated the hardest. Some of those states that were low in the vaccination count, they're getting hit the hardest, and also it's the fear that they're going to open the door back up for another wave of this COVID, and also other variants to come off because they're not sniffing it out. So I don't know why people are not getting the vaccines. I've heard every different type of um, excuse from people to the aspect of, well, I was around people that had it and I never got it, so I think I'm gonna be all right. So, well, if I get it, then I'll go get the vaccine. But until then, I probably ain't gonna get the vaccine. Like, it's a foregone conclusion that if I get it, I'm just gonna have it, and then I'm gonna go get the vaccine and I'm gonna get better. I'm not mistaken. That's not how it goes.
Like I'm still hearing. I'm not sure if they're hearing. I'm still hearing a little bit more. Let's talk about the symptoms of this Delta variant. The symptoms are similar to those seen with the original coronavirus strain and other variants, including a persistent cough, headache, fever, and sore throat. Now, those are some of the symptoms that I'm understanding of this Delta variant. Similar to a summer cold, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I think that it's almost like having the flu once again. A lot of people probably could get it confused with having the flu. The thing that I'm concerned about is all the things that happen after you get it. Some people are still having long term effects from having caught the coronavirus or the COVID-19. They some people still can't get their taste back. Some people can still smell things. Their breathing is not quite right. It's a lot of different things that a lot of people are having problems with long term still after they have quote unquote gotten over COVID. So even if you got it and got over it, it still seems to change your life drastically.
I see I got my son and tune in today. I want to thank him for chiming in all the way from Kansas City, Missouri. And Veronica said you got celebrities that are influencing people not to take it.
That is true. That is true.
And she named one specifically, Big Boy from Outkast. But there again, we as Alabamians in Mississippi, I'm gonna just say, if you ask me, the two twin states is pretty much neck and neck, for as I'm concerned. We last or next to the last. So why
Um,
why can't we? I mean, what is it? I mean, what is it that is? Yeah, it's affecting young people. This new Delta variant is affecting young people, but we know COVID kills or has killed. So that's just like, to me, pulling the trigger to a weapon and taking a chance that it might kill you or not kill you.
I think I agree. We have so many people right now that's still yelling about the speaking experiments. I just saw something on the news. One of the descendants from a person who was involved in the speaking experiments was pleading with the people not to use them as an excuse not to get the vaccine. As it is a completely different scenario situation. Um, that how they did the Tuskegee experiment was nowhere near how they're trying to do the vaccinations. The vaccinations are here to try to save people. Uh, right now, everybody is looking forward to getting out and having a good time this whole entire summer. they're booking concerts. They're having events and everything right now. If you do not want to go back to going back into the house and not being able to do anything, you really truly need to be looking at getting a vaccination because I don't want to. It's kind of people got kind of lax on wearing the mask.
Yeah.
You walk outside now, it's like, oh man, I got the mask, but I get to put it on sometimes because it's not a requirement anymore, and that's why I'm thinking that we probably got some sort of a problem with our government, some sort of incentive. They're trying to say that they didn't the incentives didn't do anything for other people, but do I understand up in New Jersey and New York, they had a COVID lottery.
Well, Mike, let me interrupt you right quick. You go ahead. I'm gonna put you on taking care of this. I just got a news broadcast that come through saying they're battling a fire on Jug Factory Road, and I smell a little smoke. So let me go outside and see how close I am to this fire that's going on. So you go ahead and handle talking about that for right quick, and I'll be right back.
All right, man. Well, we're hoping that everything's going good over there at Kingston Banquet Hall where Darren's located right now. So, and we hope there is not such a big fire and that they're able to put that out. We'll stand on topic here with the COVID-19. And of course, if you're out there and you want to call in and make any comments, we'd love to have Mr. Ron Taylor call in. You can call me at 205 310-6067. And I will get you on here on the show. But as I was saying earlier about the Delta variant and the young people, they're not going out getting it. They're not using. They're using the sneaky experiment as a reason why. Of course, we do have some celebrities that are solely against it, and I'm not exactly sure if they even know why they're against it so much. They just feel like, well, if the government wants you to do something, don't do it. But we looking at must be in Mississippi, Alabama, two states in the southern region that are at the last at something. Now, I think we got to be sick and tired of being the last at something. 49 and 50 out of 50 states. And that's probably even, that might even be counting the territories as well. I'm not exactly sure, but I know that as a states, we're the last two states all the time. They're saying it's because of rural areas. I don't necessarily know if that's the case. If it is because of rural areas, we could figure out a way to get those vaccines to those rural areas so that we can abolish this virus. To be completely honest, if they wanted to do it, they could do it. Like I said, I was speaking of New York and New Jersey and I think Connecticut. All of those did a COVID lottery, and that particular lottery gave $1 million to people. I think they pulled like just like the regular lottery. I think they pulled twice a week, but the odds were you automatically were in it as soon as you got vaccinated. They had a lot of people that went out and got vaccinated. Alabama tried to do absolutely positively nothing to incentivize getting vaccinated. It was just, okay, y'all gonna get vaccinated if y'all want. And unfortunately, a majority of the people here in Alabama decided they didn't. I think we're at probably 30% of the population here in the state of Alabama that have decided to go and get vaccinated. But it's probably more like 70% for the population that wants to walk around outside without a mask. Not 100% sure, but I think that's the case.
Okay, I'm back. We safe here.
Everything good?
Everything good here. I was, I got this WTUG app that comes through your phone when breaking news come through.
Mm-hmm.
And they had sent something through and said Joe Vector Road. Whoa, let me see where that's at. I heard the fire department run through, but I didn't think it was responding to a fire. I just thought it might have been just a rescue call. They do a lot of rescue calls and stuff.
Okay. So, I was basically just speaking on the fact that we had some states that did some sort of incentive about getting the vaccination.
Right.
Of course, our southern states didn't even think about doing that. Didn't want to do that. As a matter of fact, they tried to say that the incentives that those states up north did really probably didn't do much as far as vaccinations go.
But see, when you're seeing a lot of the northern states having 60 and 70% vaccination clearance, then it makes you think. I mean, it might have did work. But anyway,
I think that it probably would, but then you look at the proof is in the pudding. The states that have the lowest vaccination rates are the ones that are high with the Delta variant right now. As let me see, like I think Alabama, Mississippi, Colorado, I think was one of the states that had low vaccination rates. I can't think of all of them, but
I'm
each
looking
one
at
of
it.
those states that had low vaccination rates have a high concentration of the Delta variant, and that is the concern. Especially right now when there are so many people that are doing traveling throughout the United States. They're going places. They driving, most of them are. But they're going to all these different states and everything now. But we got the Delta variant, and the confusion has been said now whether or not you need a booster shot. Pfizer is recommending that you get a booster shot because of the Delta variant, and of course the CDC is saying that you don't. So now that's another bit of confusion that I think makes a lot of people weary because they're like, do they even know what we need, how we need things? So I think that plays a part in it also. I think our young people probably feeling a little bit invincible, like nothing can happen to them, and I don't think it's going to start messing with them until it starts hitting them kind of close. Pretty much like when COVID started hitting people close in the adult realm. The older people realm, I should say.
I'm trying to look up and see some information right quick. Let's see. That ain't what I want. It's talking about hot spots.
I think Miranda was saying something about Los Angeles. I think let's say their cases are up 50% in LA County. And of course, LA, well, that part of California has always been, they kind of hard headed also, because that's where the epicenter was at one time, California. They didn't want to wear masks. They didn't want to, so I'm pretty sure that they didn't want to go out there and get the vaccinations, but can we do to get people to want to get vaccinated? What can we do to change people's mind about vaccination? I'm open to any kind of suggestion because I have no idea.
Well, let's see what Veronica's saying. She's our health expert right now. And I know people probably watching the game or getting ready to watch the game. I'm not sure.
No, they ain't gonna come on till tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Tuesday and Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday, but hey, who knows?
That was last week, and this week is gonna be. It was Sunday, Wednesday, and I think Friday.
Okay. I don't see where she came on yet. I can't find. I heard some news, but I didn't see it, and I like to give exact information. Let's see. Matter of fact, I see Ohio going to unveil a second COVID vaccination incentive program. I'm gonna read that and see what it's talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're actively trying to get people to be involved in getting vaccinated. Um, to me, I think that people will get vaccinated if you're talking about playing in their pocket. So you're talking about $1 million, a chance to win $1 million just to go get vaccinated. I don't see why we wouldn't have a bunch of people going to get vaccinated, like immediately.
Oh, okay. Veronica says it's her daughter's birthday. We ain't gonna bother you on your daughter's birthday. Go ahead and enjoy that. We'll talk about this some more time. Get your opinion on that later on.
So happy birthday to your daughter.
Yes, happy birthday. I want to say hello to Anita Caldwell. Thank you for chiming in with us and all the others that are watching. But it's very important that we just got to get influence people to get vaccinated. I mean, I think we need more. Do I think we need more advertisement? Yes. Um, Radio advertisement, signage, whatever. I mean, I witnessed on some channels where pastors and different organizations are going door to door asking people about has they been vaccinated and do they mind. From my understanding, in larger cities, they're now loaded up in vans, riding around, vaccinating people. So that's a good thing.
And that's the thing. They're like, okay, we have to deal with those people who are saying, well, they're on an honor system. The whole entire thing was that you're supposed to be able to walk around outside without your mask on or anything like that if you have been vaccinated, but it's on an honor system. So you cannot ask a person who showed their vaccination card. So do you think everybody who's walking around without a mask on right now has been vaccinated?
No, sir. Without a doubt, I do.
And with that being said, the odds of one of them having the COVID-19 and probably the Delta variant is probably high.
It's possible.
But, you know, so they can spread their own. And that was the whole entire thing with the kids in the schools and going home to the elderly. They go to school and they being around a bunch of people, being around other kids that carried the virus, but they weren't getting sick. They were asymptomatic. So, you know, that's why they felt like, well, we get it, it ain't gonna do nothing to us. Well, this new variant is not like that. It is saying, okay, well, they're going to kill it, and it's attacking the younger people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a complete opposite of when COVID first came out and was attacking all the elderly people a respiratory acute respiratory failure. So that lets you know that it did adapt. The actual virus in itself has adapted and started getting attached to the younger people and started affecting them. And some of them were healthy. Like some of those young people don't have underlying conditions.
Mm-hmm. Couple comments came in. Mike, Frida Van Horn Mullen said people lack because of knowledge, not getting vaccinated because of what other people are saying instead of reading and getting wisdom and knowledge for themselves.
I agree.
Anita Caldwell say, I've been vaccinated and I still wear my mask. Veronica did come back and say people feel like since symptoms are more like colds instead of flu-like, they really aren't going to take the vaccine. They feel they can fight it, disregarding the fact that it's still dangerous for those compromised immune system. They need to wear the mask. Everybody, everybody's body is different, so the effort of the shot is going to affect many in a different way. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. True, true, true. Those are some true statements.
And that actually is one of the reasons why, like, some people are saying they're not going to get the vaccine because they say everybody's body is different. So it might work for some people, but it might not work for me. Like I said, I've heard several different excuses of why people won't take the vaccine. And a lot of it is linked to the flu shot. A lot of them say, well, I don't take the flu shot because I took the flu shot one time, I caught the flu. So I was like, well, what's the purpose of me taking this shot? I won't take it no more.
Well, see, I was the one that did that. I was one of those kind that I didn't really like the flu shot because that's the shot that made me sick than I ever been. Um, I took the coronavirus shots. I took both of mine. Hadn't had any symptoms. Like I said, the very first one I just had a sore shoulder. The second one I had no effects at all. But I hear some people say the first one affects them more than the second one do, or the second one affects them more than the first one. So yeah, I would say different people bodies are responding differently, but we all taking the shot. And that's what matters.
Mm-hmm. So no, in Texas they had I think they had like I want to say 15% of their nursing force, or probably 20% of their nursing force, they either were fired or resigned because in Texas they were required to take the COVID-19 vaccine in order to continue to work in the healthcare industry, and they were so dead set against doing it, they quit their jobs.
Hmm.
So, like I said, it's a definite fear. It's got to be, and on that note, those were nurses and healthcare professionals. So, education, it seemed like they should have had it all. But I don't know why they decided not to take it.
You know,
And actually, I know a couple of nurses that still won't take it.
we had this is a crazy world, Mike, when you get people that works in the profession and sees and saw the effects of COVID and the deaths and still don't want to take the shot.
I agree with you. I agree. Like I said, the nurses that I know, they say I'm not going to take it unless they make it mandatory for me to take it to work. I'm not going to take it. And I was like, but you were going to work at the hospital, and you were seeing all these people in those beds, and how many people had to go down to the morgue because they had passed on because of this, and you were in a high risk situation. If you went into the building, period, you were in a high risk, but you don't want to take nothing that can help you fight it off.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a guarantee that if you take vaccine that you will not catch COVID-19. But vaccines are supposed to help you be able to fight it so that you don't wind up in the hospital on bypass or ventilator.
Ron said the Delta is easier to transmit, and it's a bit stronger than the other variants, but the vaccine still provides protection.
Mm-hmm. But now, if it continues to run and get into enough people, what's going to happen, and Dr. Fauci here said this himself, there's a good possibility that it's going to mutate again into a strain that is immune to what the vaccine is able to give us. So now you're going to start looking at some sort of booster shot, really. That's the whole entire thing. That's the thing with the flu, actually. The reason why the flu shot is something that you got to take on a yearly basis is because there's different variants of the flu to keep you your immunity built up.
Well, I encourage each and every one of you that know someone that's not vaccinated to encourage them to try to go ahead and get vaccinated. Um, it's a serious issue, and I think you know how we took COVID when it first hit the globe, hit the world. We took it lightly, and I think we don't want to take this as lightly as the original coronavirus, Corona 19, COVID 19 rather.
I agree with you there. I think that because initially when the COVID came out, when it was Corona, everybody, well, it's coronavirus, but that's not a virus for black folks. Black folks don't catch coronavirus.
We was the one that was filling up
all kind of TikTok videos and YouTube, and it was all up on the news, and these folks was at the beach while all this stuff was going on, and then all of a sudden everybody started catching it. Black, white, Hispanic, it didn't even matter. And once it started getting to the point where it started hitting you pretty close, I know that person that just got this and died from it.
Well, here's the question, Mike. You know, school systems require that the students be vaccinated for their measles, their mumps, the uh, different vaccinations. And if you don't take it, you know, they won't allow you to be a part of the school.
Mm-hmm.
So is this one of those vaccinations that a part of the list that's saying you must have before you come back to school? And that's from college to high school to middle school.
I'm almost saying that it should be, because in school is probably the most times that you're going to be around a group of diverse people. In elementary, in middle, high, and collegiate, uh, you got to go through a lot of different people to get to certain places. Hallways and even in you going to your classes in college. You know, it might be a bunch of people in there, or you walk across the campus.
They share a lot of common areas these days. Apartments with 4 and 5 different people, 5 different strangers from 4 different areas, north, south, east, and west, some from out of country. So once again, is this going to be something that the schools will be able to enforce, that they will not allow you to attend unless you are vaccinated? Let me see.
Well, I think because once you get vaccinated, you do get a vaccination card, and so it's just like when you have to get your shots for the measles and mumps and all that good stuff. You have to take them a vaccination certificate or go to the school for them to to have it on file. I think that would be another thing that they would have to have on file for your child to allow them to continue to go to school. And that's probably going to be one of the things that need to happen is it becomes mandatory in a few more places.
Well,
and I think that's going to be a problem in itself because the American people do not like to be mandatory to do anything.
Right. And, Nick and I already told him if in order to fill up the stadium this year with 110,000 people, then they need to go get vaccinated. Now, that was one initiative. I think
But
they
how they
ought.
going to enforce it though? How they going to enforce it? Because it ain't like they going to require you to show your vaccination card. It's going to be an honor system thing once again.
We'll see. Veronica say, but they will allow people in school if they have religious exemption. Religious exemptions.
I tell you, Daryl, and this is a good example. Measles was all but wiped out. But then a couple of years ago, they had a resurgence of it. And that's because we got those people that's running around here saying, oh, I don't believe in vaccinations because they give you ADHD and so forth and so on. And so now it has resurfaced. Not as rampant as it once was, but it's still it has come back. This is the same type of situation. If you have a vaccine that's going to help eradicate something, and all you have to do is just take the vaccine, why not do it? I don't think that any of those vaccines have ever been scientifically linked to giving anybody ADHD. I could be wrong. Mr. Veronica, if you know anything, I'm interested in knowing, but I don't think that any of those vaccines had, and they constantly studying. So the first time something happened, they letting people know, okay, well, there's a chance that some people might get this. Some people, and that scares people all in itself too. Like right now, people are afraid of Johnson & Johnson. They said something about the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is why it's not even in the United States. And it's some sort of heart condition with another one. But it's not. It's rare. All this stuff is rare, but that has people scared to take it also because they're like, well, I don't want that to happen to me. And of course, it builds on after that. Because I done heard everybody say stuff like about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Oh, it give you blood clots. Oh, they done found like 300 folks, and then 20 people died. And I was like, no, nobody has died. Not from any of the vaccines that I've heard of. So I said, no, those people that's going to have a allergic reaction because once again, everybody's body is different. But I'm in saying let's weigh out the options, pros and cons. Because I personally don't want to go back to living in ghost town.
Yeah. I tell you what, let's take a quick commercial break. Come back, close out for the night. It's 8:45. Carmelo, go ahead and give us a commercial break, and we'll be right back. Is our promoter went to sleep?
Let's see. DJ Mello. I think he's working on it right now, Bill.
District 7 has now come to a crossroad. We have to have a leader that we can trust. My work isn't done.
Sonia has proven herself. Everything I've asked her to do within the last 8 years, she's done. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. That's why I'm supporting her.
We need someone who can continue helping the city of Tuscaloosa and this district to grow. Sonia is the person to do that for us. She is professional, she holds people accountable, and she is trustworthy.
I am for Sonia. I know the direction we're going. I know the funding opportunities that are there. We need to have continued leadership that knows where they're going, and I can take you in the right direction. To start over with inexperienced leadership pushes our district back. We don't deserve that. We have sidewalk projects, we have LED lighting upgrades, we have drainage projects that are out there waiting to be funded. This is not a game. I need to get back to work. So on July 27th, I have a plan, and there are things on the table that are there waiting for me to continue to advocate for you.
Tuscaloosa, get ready for the Ttown Labor Day Blues and Groove Festival. Saturday, September 4th at SoCo Park, featuring TK Soul, Abel Hollywood,
Is you 25 and
Magic One, Jay Hammer, Miss Jody, Donnie Ray, and the J. Morris Group. Gates open at noon. Showtime 2 p.m. It's all hosted by MC Sir Anthony. Bring your tents, coolers, lawn chairs, and RVs. Vendors are welcome. Kick off your Labor Day weekend at the Blues and Groove Festival, starring TK Soul, Abel Hollywood, Magic One, Jay Hammer, Miss Jody, Donnie Ray, and the J. Morris Group. Saturday, September 4th at SoCo Park in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. For tickets and vendor info, call 205-872-2113.
Okay, we're back. Great show tonight. Very informative. Once again, we just trying to encourage people to go out. Please get vaccinated. And let's try to defeat this Delta variant before it even gets to be a strain here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I think it's better that we are more taking care of things now rather than later. And by doing that, they're saying we need more people to get vaccinated, and that's throughout the whole state. That's not just here in Tuscaloosa. That's Alabama and Mississippi is tied for dead last in vaccinations. So let's try to encourage people to go get vaccinated, especially the younger generations. My young people has already gotten vaccinated up to the 12-year-old. My 12-year-old granddaughter. So no problem so far that I know of. Everybody seems to be normal. No side effects that I know of. Let's just protect ourselves.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Daryl. I'm sick and tired. I don't know if y'all I'm pretty proud of us being amongst the last in matrix of important things. Education, we, we right there with Mississippi being amongst the last. I don't want us to be amongst the last. Can we get on up the ladder somewhere? Yeah. Um, as far as finances go, they say we're amongst the last. I'm trying to figure out why.
Health issues. I mean, are we in the top 10 with health? I guess you would say. For for being the last in health, obesity, and all that kind of different stuff. And that's a whole nother show.
It is, and I understand how hard it is because I'm Big Mike fan. I know how hard it is for to get past it. But what kind of programs do we have to try to help folks? But I think the United States as a whole has a problem with that. Mike, as far as health goes, it's all tied to how we.
Let me ask you this: do you remember? And I don't know if you was in elementary school at the time, but they had a program, a physical education program. I can't think of the name of that program. Was it? Everybody had to do a certain amount of sit-ups, push-ups, and run, walk, type thing. And you used to get this little.
Yeah, you had to run a mile. It was a mile, walk a mile, and you had to do, I think, 30 push-ups, or so you had to do so many push-ups in a minute, so many sit-ups in a minute. That was in a pull-up. You had to do pull-ups.
Yeah,
that was presidential fitness test.
Yes, and that's what I was fixing to say. I think everybody that participated in some shape, form, or fashion got the presidential ribbon or a pin or something of that nature to go along with it, and I think that is something we might need to go back to in physical education. Veronica say, as long as Alabama is a red state, it will be that way.
So the full circle goes back around. Once let's come down time to voting, we need to get out and vote and try to turn us more blue than red, because we absolutely are not going to change. If we keep doing the same thing, we're going to keep getting the same results. So that's just in the next year.
That's it.
We have an election that's coming up in a few days here, in like 12 days.
27.
I say
July the 27th.
27. Where exactly is the polling place going to be at, Daryl?
It's going to be in the same location on off Mayflower Mall at the what's the name of the church? I forget the name of the church myself now. But it's the same. It's the same one that was at we voted at in March. So, and I do have plans to have Miss McKinstry on the program. I'm not sure is it going to be this week or next week, but she will be on the program to answer any questions and tell her format, tell her things of the future.
All right. So with that being said, like what Veronica said is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
If we do not, if we stay red, we're gonna stay toward the end of everything. We're gonna stay the bottom of the pile. No advances or anything. We have to grow to a point where this state don't. I want to get out of that shadow of being them hillbillies, the ones that they think we walk around with overalls on with no shirts on underneath, straw hats, riding around in tractors and everything like that. We're not. There's a lot of intelligent people down here, but the thing about it is, once they have gotten their education and everything, and they're able to, they leave. They don't want to come back. And that's probably part of the reason why we're in the situation we are here in the state of Alabama. I believe, just my opinion.
She also brought up that we need to pay attention to the fact that black and brown people are at risk losing their rights to vote, and we're on a state by state attack as related to voting rights, and our people are basically silent. Uh, that's something that I was watching in Texas, relating to Texas voting rights and privileges that are being attacked, and I think some of the politicians went to Washington and protesting or speaking up or trying to get things taken care of there. So we gotta watch it. We gotta pay more attention.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like we can see this stuff happening in other states, and like it ain't gonna happen here. But why do you think it's not gonna happen in Alabama? Why do you think it's not gonna happen in Mississippi? And maybe the other states that we got. Right? You know what I'm saying? It might try to happen in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And you know, Texas, even though seems to be west, but it's still kind of southwest. You know what I'm saying? It's still part of the Southeastern Conference, as I put it. You know, if you divide the United States up into four different, I think you can say Texas will be more toward the west. You got Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. Is that correct? So those four states, I mean, along with Florida and Georgia, of course, but I'm just, if you're going west, you're just going southwest, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, those are all southern states. They don't call, but just like for some reason they don't really want to call Florida a southern state, but it is. It's the southernmost state actually. But yeah, it's a southern state, and but they, I don't know, like you see Texas, they trying to do things for their state. Georgia trying to do things for their state, where the city of Atlanta is anyway. So we gotta do the same thing.
Well, we ain't gonna see no change in Alabama because Kay Ivan already announced she's running for governor. Let me let Veronica chime in right quick.
Girl, does she look like she can make it though? That's the question.
She gonna get elected again, man. Come on, go ahead, Veronica.
But I'm saying, like, she might.
Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hey y'all, I just wish we can get as far as the Delta variant. You know, like Michael said earlier, a lot of younger people aren't taking it and they're being influenced by other people. You know, the African American community has their reasons as far as the vaccines, and you know that's just stuck. It's just one of those things that's just stuck. You know, it's been up and it's just stuck there, and we just still have to keep trying to convince people to take it. You know, some people will say that they have medical conditions that say that they can't take it, but when you look at what COVID causes as relate to the medical condition that they may have, most people who have had COVID, it made their situation worse. So I don't know why they think the introduction of the virus would cause it, because it's not like the flu virus. It's not a dead form of the virus. You know, and I guess the thing with that is that they say, well, or at least that's a dead form of the flu virus, and this is something synthetic that man has made. So I think that's a big issue that they have with it. So it's like even people, some of them with pre-existing conditions, you can't get them to take it because they say it's a synthetically made virus and they came up with it too quickly. Well, the type of virus, the mRNA virus, has been studied for years and years, but they came up quickly because we haven't had a pandemic in 100 years. So, you know, some things that come up, that happen, make scientists jump gear. You know, they just start. But as I said, there are some medical professionals who won't take it as well, as far as the variant is, and it's easier to pass, and even though it's a little bit harder for the vaccines to fight than the other variants, it's still, they still feel like many people, if they get it, the symptoms will be less. But the thing about, and because people who have been vaccinated fully can acquire it, and they probably will be okay. But you know, you just never know because people at the end of the day still are different. But from what's going on with the research that they have, which is not a lot because it's been here 2 years, going on 2 years. Well, they're still saying to take the vaccine, and a lot of people, like I said, they say, well, they're health reasons. I'm not going to say everybody's health, but because I don't know what it is, but most doctors are saying take the vaccine. Now there are some people who may have had certain transplants, that there's certain vaccines that they can't take. So there's that. But a lot of people are saying, well, since even though it's a little harder on you, or it's easier to pass, to transmit it, they're saying that most people only get cold symptoms. So people feel like if they get cold symptoms, they can fight it. Why take this vaccine? Then you have some celebrities, some Fox News anchors telling people not to take it. And I'm like, y'all listen to everything else Trump said, but the fact that he took the vaccine won't persuade you to take the vaccine or to encourage people to take it. The one thing that he did do that could maybe help people, they won't encourage that. But everything else he pushes, the light and all that other stuff, they push that. But they won't say, well, hey, look, he took it undercover, but he did take it. So, and then the thing about autism and ASD and stuff like that, as relates to measles vaccines, research is all over the world, not just the United States. So you have some from Germany and places like that who found a correlation between vaccines and some type of viral processes and maybe even neural processes. And that's where that started from, like in the early 90s. So most doctors and scientists and researchers say that the vaccines don't have an effect on you that way. But there are some people, even in the medical profession, that believe that there is that possibility. So, so you're fighting with that. So it's just with the vaccine, it's just a lot. This Delta variant is surging, and even though it's surging, people are so glad to be back out and be amongst their friends and do whatever they want to do until they're saying, well, if it's like cold symptoms, it's almost like when they were saying, well, it was like the flu. And a flu is more serious than a cold most times. So if they were reluctant to take it then, and now they're comparing it to a cold, they're just more reluctant to take it now. Sadly.
Veronica, do you think that another reason why the vaccine came as quick as it did was
I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Do you think that the reason why it came so fast is because the world was working on these vaccines? Like the whole entire world was working on it together?
You mean, yes, everybody was working on the vaccines. But just like with most research, we don't know what's going on. We really don't. How much are we really into research unless something happens that causes a scare? And so some people don't stop to think, well, really, I don't worry about what scientists are looking into. I don't go through and check what UAB is researching on during this time. UAB is just one United renowned research hospital. So imagine all the other ones in the country and all the other ones in other countries. Switzerland, England, all those people are always working on similar vaccines, similar everything, because everybody wants to be the one to discover something. Everybody wants to be the one to come up with, what works. So they've been studied. People just didn't know, but they won't stop and ask themselves, well, did I know much about the hepatitis B vaccine? Our children started taking the hepatitis B vaccine back in the early 90s, but we didn't have. Nobody. And a lot of people, you get your kids' blue card right now. Most of your kids have been vaccinated against hepatitis B. And some people, now there are those anti-vax people that did fight it, but I'm saying I'm scared that these people are fighting the vaccine for COVID. They didn't fight it that way. And most of our children have had hepatitis B vaccination. It wasn't even out. It was, I think it may have been like a little red droplets. It may not even have been an injection, but it was still a vaccination. So I just, people they haven't heard of it, so they don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And then, you got people, our community, that we already have that fear, that understandable anxiety. when it comes to something new, vaccines in general, especially new ones, because of our history. We have that right to have that fear. And you know, it's just you have to try to talk people out of it. But then sometimes I don't always feel like talking people out of it because we don't know. Even though they have been researching for the longest, most of us took that vaccine. Why? Because not because we knew everything or a lot. We knew what they told us. And we saw some black people working, some black scientists, like the young lady in the Southeast, I think North Carolina, that created one of them, helped to create one of them. So all we could go by was that. We don't really know what will happen 20 years later after studying this. But what we did know was that we saw what COVID did. So we're trying to find something to help prevent
600,000.
going through that.
600,000.
Well, over 11,000 here in the state of Alabama.
Sadly. And then as far as the voting rights, I've always been one to say, if you become too complacent, they tell us every day when it's things that click with us or that we resonate with, us, no, history will repeat itself. We are just about to have to be out here in these streets fighting for our voting rights. We have people who have been to incarcerated who are fighting for their voting rights. There's a man, I can't forget where he's from, facing 20 years because he made a simple voting mistake. But then they're supposed to go up there January 6th getting probation. You have a lady in Texas served another 5 years or was sentenced to 5 years, and they're trying to help her because of her making a mistake, thinking she could vote. When she went down there, her name's on the roll. So if she voted before she was the president, she went down there, her name's on the roll. Maybe she just didn't know. Some people feel like when they get their voting rights back, they can vote. Some people feel like when they get out of prison, they don't have to get the voting rights back. I'm out of prison now, I can vote. We are on the precipice of losing our voting rights. This is the second time the Democrats of Texas have avoided those strict, back to not giving people water, not letting somebody drive you up to no drop off. You see how Harris County, Texas was the last election because they had to ride ups and drop offs. He's putting it with no drop offs.
Yeah.
They're running amok over there in Texas. They've done it in Georgia, and the Supreme Court upheld it for now in Georgia. So it's going to take the Congress, which we already see how that's going, and we got 2 Democrats that won't get rid of the filibuster so we can get some of these voting rights established. We can get John Lewis bill passed and things like that. We got 2 Democrats who might as well just turn over their blue card and just say they're Republicans. I mean, want to ask Nick Saban to call your buddy so bad, I don't know what to do. Because he is buddy. So he said Nick Saban had basically endorsed him. And I just don't see a person, Nick Saban, being a political and doing it. I see Tobyfield doing it. But, we're basically losing our voting rights, and people are sitting around here worried about crazy stuff. We're on the verge of not being able to vote. They're backtracking to Jim Crow. We don't even know it. The whole Texas, all 58 Democrats in the Texas Congress left and headed to D.C. And their governor is over there talking about they will be arrested when they get back. Because this is the second time they've tried to fight hard to reject those voting rights voting laws that he's trying to sign into law. They rejected it back a month or so ago. They rejected it now. He said he had to have a special session. So now they've left and they've gone to D.C. Yep. And Saul was saying he was going to send the Texas Marshals up there, but they was like, no, you can't do that. So what he did get on TV and says when they get back, they will be arrested and taken back to, I guess, their capital. Now, to me, that's imprisonment. These folks are trying to take away our voting rights so bad. Now it's back to me like in the 60s. This man is willing to arrest the representatives of those districts of Texas so that he can have a quorum in order to sign that bill into law, which is taking away the rights from them going to that Sunday Souls to Vote black people. Can't drive up because somebody with you in the car. This man actually got on TV last night and said somebody in the car may persuade your vote. Well, yeah, if they persuade your vote, maybe that was your husband, your wife, your family member. If you allow somebody to persuade your vote right before you drop it in the box, then you probably wanted to vote that way anyway. Just saying crazy stuff. And they're going to do it in Alabama. Texas.
Oh, I absolutely believe it. Absolutely believe it.
Red state. Georgia. Red state.
Arizona.
Red state. Where they flipped. So because they ended up flipping, now you got those Republicans over there trying to take it back home by going through all these crazy different changes in voter laws. They're basically trying to put it back to where it was when we have to count how many marbles in the jar to vote. And people aren't saying it's just mind-boggling to me. I just see when I watch the news, I'm like, I know everybody didn't watch the news. But if somebody, I would think one person in each family in this city, in the city of Tuscaloosa, should know about all those representatives, Democratic representatives having to leave Texas right now in D.C. Meeting with Kamala Harris and trying to figure out what can they do. How can they try to get some Republicans? You know the Republicans don't care. How can they get some of them to come over? Because right now it's not about democracy to them. It's all about power. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a lot of people say don't blame Donald Trump. I don't blame Donald Trump, but I do blame him. You can't really blame him, but I do blame the fact that he was there. It's like he lit the spark. He sparked it back up. Oh, yeah, because these Republicans now will not do a thing. Right now, that man down there, that crazy governor down there in Florida, if he ran for president and Trump didn't win, he'd probably win. But do you know Trump, they put it on the poll, said Trump had a 71% chance over him to win. So, and guess what? He had that chance over him in the last election. But this election had probably basically 15 million people turn out to vote. Yeah, Trump got more votes than him and Hillary. Biden got more than him and Hillary. That's because people came out, young people who were sick, people who they mailed in, they drove up, they did all this stuff. And these are the laws that they're trying to change in all these red states. It wouldn't bother me so bad if it was states.
They're trying to take away the absentee balloting. Because
they're trying to take away all of it. Anything that allows you to vote without going to that. And then even if you go to the polling place, because they're giving the poll workers more rights in some of these states. More rights to reject you. More rights to say this idea isn't correct. There are even some of them trying to make you have more than just a driver's license. Now, when has it been kosher to ever need more than just your driver's license to vote?
Right.
And I just feel I'm very uncomfortable about it because, like I said, it's like some people, when they hit Alabama or when it hits their state, they're going to be like, oh, what it's been happening right here every day. If you turn on any news channel for 2 minutes, you'll see it's happening every day. And like I said, a lot of us bickering and arguing about stuff that we need to be trying to fight for the right for all of us to be able to vote. Because Alabama is gonna, she ain't gonna say nothing. She won't even take the assistance, the COVID assistance, the federal assistance, the people that were supposed to get their unemployment through September. Those people stopped in June 30th?
Yeah.
And he is telling everybody to take personal responsibility for COVID. So you know there's not going to be no incentives given in Alabama unless people do it on a city by city or county by county basis. So I just wish our people, because a lot of our people still right here in this city of Tuscaloosa that fought and were beaten, there's blood, sweat, and tears to vote, a lot of them are still living. And to see us not fight for that, and it's not to the point of having to literally physically fight yet, like they had to do. But each red state is slowly making it harder. And like I said, you really don't have to worry about a red state because it's a red state. But then again, you do have to worry about a red state because look at how Arizona basically was purple. It flipped from red to blue. Look at how Georgia flipped from red to blue. They're making these laws so that things like that, and it's because of the black population that they're won off and also won those elections. But they're making it so hard So it's basically now, okay, so if I can't pass out water, right? Can we, if we stand in line, pull water out of our purse? Can I not give Daryl a bottle of water if he's standing next to me and I got two? You're going to have people all go, just Jim Crow, just the 60s. So I'm not passing out water, but I'm with my friend. I'm standing in line and he's thirsty. I can't give him water. I can't have 4 bottles of water in a cooler.
Influence on the vote. Is that what they're saying?
What'd you say now?
You're saying that passing out water is an influence on the vote.
They're making it illegal to pass out water.
But I'm saying the reason they're giving that is because they're saying
it's just another reason to make it hard. Think about it. Think about when we had the elections in Tuscaloosa, how long those lines were. Mm-hmm. Some of those people were walkers. Some of the people, they were just average, common, everyday people, but they had to stand in line for how long? Hours. So it's just, and you got people out there, what's going to encourage them to stay in line? If you're passing out pizza, if you got sandwiches, if you got water, especially if it's in the summertime, if it's in the wintertime. But if you don't have those things offered to you, people will likely just say forget it and go.
That's true. It's absolutely true.
So it's just, and it sounds simple, but it's those simple things that these laws, it ain't that simple because they're creating laws to even go as far as saying you cannot give somebody water. The Georgia law, I think they reversed that part about them voting at the church because there was such a long tradition and it was just so jacked up. If I'm not mistaken, I think that part they took out. I'm not sure. But Texas is doing the same thing. Souls to the polls. They're trying to stop people from being able to go and vote on that Sunday. Some of them are shortening that window that you have to go and cast your ballot. Like if you're going out of town or whatever. They're trying to shorten those windows. Some of the laws are shortening those windows. And the Texas governor is set on trying to sign it into law. So the Democrats of Texas left to avoid it. They left. The last time they walked out, this time they left and went to D.C. to see Kamala and Biden. So he's saying now when they come back, talking about fight. How can you fight when the fight's not fair? Talking about they need to stop being cowards or fight or whatever. How can you fight if you're in the minority and the majority is taking advantage of the situation of just something that's a God-given right that everybody should have? So he's saying when they come back, they will be arrested and taken to, I guess, the Capitol, which this sounds crazy. You even had people, the citizens, I think it was 300 people that came to protest that law this couple of days ago. Even Texans, not just the representatives, even people came to speak out about the law that he's trying to sign, the bill he's trying to sign. So that's why I say it's hard for me to believe nobody's talking about, if it's not affecting you yet, you can't do anything. Fine, you shouldn't do anything, but you should have plans in order.
Yeah. Even our own state and local hadn't even brought it up. I mean, down in Montgomery.
We know Republicans down there in Montgomery, Mo Brooks and all them folks gonna get together, start saying, hey, let's draw this up.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
And we're sitting here watching it happen to Texas. We've watched it happen to Georgia. We've seen it trying to happen to Arizona. The Supreme Court even upheld the one in Georgia, saying that even if it did affect it, it wasn't enough. Some type of way that Supreme Court justice, one of the conservatives would say it, even if it was, it wouldn't be enough to like it wouldn't matter. So basically our votes wouldn't matter to him. So it's happening in red states. And look at Alabama and the type of red state we are. Anything good, we're last. Anything bad, it's at the top. So they're watching and seeing what each state is getting away with.
We'll sneak some in on us quickly on them bills. Those bills that they have going on, and we ain't paying no attention to HB 297201. I mean,
exactly. And when do we find out? Right there, the week or two before, and then everybody scrambling trying to get somebody to come and explain it.
Yeah.
But we need to be knowing what's going on right now as far as that type of stuff. What's stirring in Montgomery now? They may not have said nothing, but have you heard anything? What's going on? You can always put some type of plan together in case they try, because it's basically, the bottom line is they're trying to take away our rights to vote. If you become too complacent, history repeats itself.
It's going to happen. It will happen. It will happen. You're absolutely right. Veronica, we didn't want to take you away from your daughter's birthday. We want to thank you for chiming in with us and giving us your input. And we wish your daughter a happy birthday. Many, many more to come.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I thank y'all. And she thanks you too.
Okay.
We're getting old.
Hey.
They becoming, they getting in their prime. We're getting old. But it's all a blessing.
There you go.
It's all a blessing.
Wiser as it comes.
Right. Because what we're talking about right now, when I was her age, I was hearing about it, I see about it, but I wasn't trying to be proactive about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can say that a lot of these young people of the day are actually more proactive than we were at that particular age.
They are. They really are.
And speaking of young people, real quick, I want to say before we get off the air, thank everybody for checking out DJ Cam on Saturday Night Heat. This past Saturday, he's gonna get back in it again this next Saturday. As he said, he's gonna have his hype woman with him this Saturday. She wasn't able to be with him, but his mom and his very supportive mother is gonna be with him, hype him up. So that's gonna be going on this Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. He's telling me that he's thinking about doing a slow mix. So I don't know, y'all want to check that one out. I was quite surprised at some of the music selection that we had.
Good music selection. I listened for a good little bit, shared it. And,
yeah, I did too. And he had good encouragement. A lot of people giving, giving words of encouragement.
Yes, ma'am, and I really do appreciate that. I want to continue to encourage him. Encourage all the teenagers that I work with to continue to do the things that they've been doing, staying out the streets and staying positive and into things that's beneficial. It's going to be beneficial to them in their future, including our producer here, DJ Mello, who's producing this show right now.
Yeah. Well, Mike, that's it for me tonight, man. I had a long day. And I appreciate everyone that chimed in. Like I said, I thought the game was tonight. I was trying to hurry up and get this game situation over with, but we can go into another series of conversation before I started. I wanted to make sure we, didn't have our main agenda on the basketball court. So maybe
this week right here is on Wednesday and I think Friday.
Okay.
Is the days that they're going to be playing this week. So our days, Tuesday and Thursday, should be real deep. So we should be good on Thursday.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, Veronica.
Y'all have a good.
You too.
Oh yeah. It's just I just want our people to pay more attention because they're aiming at our people.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you're a Democrat and you're not asking a man, it really won't affect you. Maybe I won't say all non-black and brown people won't be affected, but it's targeted at black and brown people because what we have said for so long is that the majority will soon become a minority. Mm-hmm. Why do you think they fought immigration so hard? So since they're becoming a minority, the next best thing to do is while you still have a slight majority is to gain yourself some power or to flex the power that you have because they've always had the power anyway.
Yep. Sounds good. Talk to you on Thursday.
Okay. Talk to y'all then.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.